There is an attack on moms, especially black moms, but yet we sleep. Why are judges allowed to kidnap children from their mothers? Legalized kidnapping, the truth. They don't want you to see. Don't believe the lies. This is not custody. This is legalized kidnapping. Every day in America, mothers and some fathers are being ripped from their children by judges who hide behind their black robes and abuse their power. No evidence, no due process, just a signature on a court order, and suddenly a child is taken. They say it's in the best interest of the child, but the truth is darker than that. These fathers, often the ones with power, money, or a legal advantage, are playing the same script. She's withholding the child. She's trying to kidnap the child. She's unstable. But they don't need truth. They just need a story. And the courts buy it over and over again with no proof or evidence. This isn't justice. This is corruption. Where is the investigation into this pattern of lies? Why are judges overriding basic parental rights without proof? Why is it always the mother who loses the child? There is an agenda here, one that's targeting the very bond between a mother and her child. And too many Americans are asleep while families are being dismantled right in front of our eyes. It's time to wake up. When a mother can't move to another state with her child, this is not freedom. When she's accused of kidnapping for trying to keep her child safe, that's not law, that's control. When a court severs a mother bond without evidence, that is state-sponsored and family destruction. This isn't about what's best for the child, it's about who holds the power. This must be exposed and demand accountability. We must stand beside every mother who is screaming into a system that refuses to hear her. We must not judge, but be willing to hear her story first. Don't wait until it happens to your daughter, your sister, your niece, or your friend. The time to stand up is now. Here's the truth they don't want you to see. A child is taken from their mother not because of abuse nor neglect, but because a judge signed a piece of paper with no evidence or due process. These judges are using their power to destroy families based on lies and hearsay with no proof. What is the agenda? If you believe it is, in the best interest of the child, you should say to yourself, how can it be, in the best interest of a child, to take his mother away? Then you should want to investigate and hear her side of the story before you judge her, especially if there is no abuse or neglect to the child from the mother. It's quite remarkable to me that all these fathers are reading from the same script. You don't believe me? Do the research before it happens to someone you love. Tell me, what child does not need his mother? What if you were denied a relationship with your own mother through the courts? Where would you be today? Does this make any sense to you? In the Bible, mothers are a powerful figure, a crucial role in nurturing life, shaping character, modeling faith. Mothers are essential for her family well-being. Mothers exemplify strength, devotion, and love even in the face of adversity. So think about it. Who would want to destroy that kind of bond? What is the agenda behind this? The destruction of the family. They did it during slavery time, dismantling families. Now they found another way to do it. Through the court system, by using the best interest of the child. Who are they to say what's the best interest of your child? How would they know? We all know the best interest of a child is the parent working together for the good of the child regardless if they are together or not. If the courts care about the child's best interest, why not set up programs to strengthen the family bond for a healthier family? But that is not the agenda. The agenda is to destroy the family unit, and they are doing it right in front of our eyes in plain sight. They are targeting mothers, a crucial figure in the child's life. The Bible warns us about false prophets who come to destroy. The Bible encourages us to guard against deception by using God-given intellect to discern truth from falsehood. The Bible says we're supposed to be watchful and alert and keep our eyes open to discern deception, but yet we sleep. Children are being kidnapped from their mothers. Some mothers are only allowed to see their children through a court order once or twice a week, again with no abuse or neglect, just a lie. I hate to be the one to tell you this is all of our problem. Our children are our future, and if we allow them to destroy our family by removing the mother, our children have no future. We as a people know how important family is, especially when it comes to our mothers. Mothers play a key role in our lives. Now you take that away. What will you have? Chaos and no structure. Removing a child from his mother can cause emotional and psychological damage. The child may experience trauma, anxiety, depression, and difficulties with attachment and development. Now, does that sound like the best interest for the child? Are the best interest for them, you tell me? They know exactly what they are doing. Don't be fooled. There is an agenda here, and it not for our benefit. Again, look at the script these fathers are using against these mothers. The same script over and over. She is unstable. In whose eyes she is withholding the child? Where is the evidence and her side of the story? Here's the main one they use. She is trying to kidnap the child's. Do we not have the right to travel and move around with our children freely before the child is snatched away? All of this is based on no evidence but hearsay. The real question is, who is giving them this script? These fathers don't realize they are helping them destroy their own child's future. They are being used by the same system they believe is on their side. This is supposed to be about the child. It is crucial that children have their mothers in their lives at all times, not once or twice a week. Parents' rights, especially mothers, are being stepped on and ignored all over this country. And when she speaks up against her treatment and the removal of her child, she is threatened with a jail sentence. The 14th Amendment gives you the rights and freedom to be a parent without the interference of the government, unless the child is abused, neglect, or abandoned. We supposed to have the rights to due process, not hearsay or assumption. But these rights are being denied and overlooked by this corrupt system. Why are judges so quick to believe the lies that are told by these fathers? This is not justice, it's an agenda. One that silences mothers, one that destroys children. Since when does the government get to tell a mother where she can go with her own child? Is she not free? This is just an excuse. It makes it legal to kidnap your child in their eyes. This is nothing but corrupt judges and a corrupt system. Since when is a parent treated like a criminal when it comes to protecting her child? These are things we need to think about. They call it the best interest of the child when they care nothing about your child. What gives them the right to decide what is in the best interest for your child? Who do you think benefits when mothers are erased? Not the child. This has nothing to do with the child. It's about control, power, and money. It's time to wake up. Because the system is not broken, it's working exactly how it was planned to. And if we keep quiet and asleep any longer, we will lose our children and our future. Our children are our future, and they know this. This is planned, so don't think this is not your problem because you're wrong. This is all of our problem. You have not felt it yet, and I hope your family never do. Look at whose children and mothers are mainly being targeted. This is our fight. We want to believe in some fairy tale world that our justice system is fair. Really look at all the fairness sitting in our jails, so who is it fair for? Have we forgot our past? Wolves in sheep's clothing. It hasn't changed. Let's be fair, all judges are not corrupt yet. But there are those sitting on the bench, overstepping their power, and must be exposed, corrupt. Mothers and children are being destroyed by a system that doesn't work, especially when the wrong person has the power in their hands. It's our job to let them know we are watching and we will not be silent anymore. If you don't know your right as a parent, I suggest you listen to the following information. Learn what your rights are. Stick together and support our children and mothers. What does the 14th Amendment say about parental rights? While the U.S. Constitution doesn't use the words parental rights explicitly, the U.S. Supreme Court has repeatedly affirmed that the right of a parent to raise their child is a fundamental liberty, interest protected under the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment Due Process Clause, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. This protects your right as a parent to the care, custody, and control of your child, and says the government cannot interfere without strong justification and due process. One Supreme Court case law supporting parental rights, Troxell v. Granville, 530 U.S. 57, 2000. Quote, the liberty interest at issue is the interest of parents in the care, custody, and control of their children. It is perhaps the oldest of the fundamental liberty interests recognized by this court. 2. The court ruled that parents have a constitutional right to make decisions about their children's upbringing, and that judges cannot override that without clear and compelling reasons. 3. Santos Sky v. Kramer, 455 U.S. 745, 1982. Quote, "The fundamental liberty interest of natural parents in the care, custody, and management of their child does not evaporate simply because they have not been model parents. The court said the state must prove by clear and convincing evidence before taking away parental rights. It can't just take children based on suspicion or hearsay." 4. Pierce v. Society of Sisters, 268 U.S. 510, 1925, quote, "The child is not the mere creature of the state. Those who nurture him and direct his destiny have the right, coupled with the high duty, to recognize and prepare him for additional obligations." The court rejected government overreach in education, reaffirming that parents, not the state, have the primary right to direct their child's upbringing. Meyer v. Nebraska, 262 U.S. 390, 1923, quote, 5. "Liberty denotes not merely freedom from bodily restraint, but also the right of the individual to marry, establish a home, and bring up children." This case laid the foundation for all future decisions affirming parental rights as part of constitutional liberty. Bottom line, the Constitution protects your right to raise your child, and the government cannot interfere without due process, compelling justification, and evidence. Judges who remove children based on unproven claims, false narratives, or without proper legal findings are violating this constitutional protection. Expose the truth and the corruption that's going on. They call it custody. But it's a setup. They don't care about the truth. These judges create their own version of their lie. All they need is a word, a label, a lie. They turn a loving mother into a criminal. She tried to protect her child. They called it kidnapping. Because she didn't want to hand her child to an abuser, they said she was unstable. She moved to another state for safety. They said she was hiding. No proof, no evidence, just the same script, used again and again by bitter fathers and corrupt courts. And here's the dirty secret. Judges are supposed to protect due process, but instead they're twisting facts and ignoring the Constitution by making backdoor decisions before you even walk into that courtroom. They don't investigate or verify. They just want a story they can use to take your child and justify it. This isn't custody. This isn't justice. This is betrayal by the very system sworn to protect you. If we don't wake up, who will be next? It has already gone too far. Truth, like and share, help save the next family. Stand up to corruption.